Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Family Food and Fun. And today I'm going to share a recipe with you guys that I have pretty much learned to cook on my own, as I've made my transition of not eating ground beef anymore. Just didn't like the way it made me feel, the way it digests. It's hard and it takes a long time to digest it, and it's just so heavy. So I want to share with you my chicken burger recipe. But how I'm going to do it is I'm going to take my chicken patties, I'm going to make them, and then I'm going to smother them in gravy. Now, if you're like me, you don't know how to make gravy, so I cheat. How do I cheat? I use a can of cream of chicken. So, and then we're going to have some sides, vegetable sides. We'll do something green and maybe a mashed potato. But for the chicken patty itself, I want to share with you what I'm going to use for the ingredients. So the first thing, of course, as you know, we're going to use ground chicken, some lean ground chicken from Purdue. I found to like this. It's lighter. You get full. The consistency when you're eating, it is different than ground beef, but it's pretty good if you season it right. I'm going to use Worcestershire sauce. Yep, and just gonna do like a few squirts of that in there, and then I'm going to use an egg. This will kind of help my chicken patty, the ground chicken, you know, come together a little bit. And one more Lipton onion soup mix, the packet. It's like a dry consistency. I like to use this to flavor my burger patties. And of course, as I mentioned, if you don't do gravy, you're like me, we're going to use the Campbell's cream of chicken to smother it in once our chicken patties are done. So those are the things that I like to use, and of course a little bit of seasoning salt and a little bit of pepper according to our taste, how we like it. But those are the things that we're going to use for the chicken patty. And so let's just get this video started. Let's just dive into it. So don't forget, as always, if you're watching this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you have not, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, share, tell somebody that knows somebody, so that we all can take this journey together. So let's get started. I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. So I wanted to go ahead and show you my pan. This is, I just put just enough cooking oil just to coat the bottom of my pan. It doesn't need to be all high, you know, just enough to coat, because we're going to flour down our ground chicken because it's very, very sticky. I've already put my ground chicken in a bowl, and I've already cracked my egg and put my egg in. So let's just go ahead and start getting our seasoning and goodies in there. So I'm going to use just a little bit of seasoning salt, not much, because the Lipton onion soup mix and the Worcestershire sauce is going to help it out a lot. And a little bit of pepper. And as I mentioned before in a previous video, I was not taught to cook by measurements. We just eyeball, so just flow with me. Let's go ahead and start working in our Lipton soup mix. Give me just one moment. Okay, I like to just bring this in a little at a time, because I like to make sure that it's worked in evenly in my ground chicken. Okay, and I have my grease getting warm on medium heat while I'm getting this ready. Okay, this is where we bring in the rest of the Lipton onion soup mix. So we use that one whole packet, and then the Worcestershire. Okay. Just mixing everything in. Worcestershire kind of gives it a brownish tint. Okay, so everything is good to go. Let's move this off to the side. Now, because it's very, very sticky, it's hard for ground chicken. It doesn't do what ground beef does. So you kind of have to use flour to kind of help you out. So time to get those hands in there and get dirty. Go ahead and flour your hand. Based upon how big you want your chicken patties to be, will be how much you spoon in your hand. Without this flour, it will be sticky. Trust you me, I've learned the hard way. Flour is going to be your best friend. See what I mean by sticky? And you just form your chicken patty. I'm going to check the grease. Alright. A formed chicken patty. So you just keep going back and forth. So we can get ready to put this one in. And this is all that it is. Flour them down, form your chicken patty, and you get it in the grease. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep flouring them down, forming my patties and dropping them in. Once I get the pan right and get the rest of my patties formed, I will come back so we can start getting our sides brewing. So I'll be back. Okay everybody, we're back, and we went on ahead and we cooked down the chicken patties, and I just wanted to show you this is how they are going to look when they're done. So we've got them cooked down, and to get our cream of chicken ready, I just went on ahead and I put it in a bowl. So you see the consistency of it is kind of thick. So I want to loosen it just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little water at a time until it gets to the consistency that I like. Whatever your preference is, however loose you like your gravy to be, that's exactly how you're going to do it. So I'm just going to keep working this around and adding water, and I'm not worried about the water making it lose its flavor, because remember we sauteed the patties down into the cooking oil, which is already flavored from the chicken patties. So I'm not too worried about anything getting watered down and losing flavor by me adding the water. So you see it's starting, it's not as clumpy, so I'm getting it to where I want it to be. Add the rest of this water. I believe that was about 1.5 cups of water that I had in there. Just adding a little at a time. So now it's getting a little bit more loose like I like it, and the more you mix, the more it's going to come together. So don't panic if it starts separating once you add the water. You got to keep working with it. Okay, now you see my consistency, big difference. This is what I want. I'm going to put my pan back on the eye. I'm going to go ahead and start adding this in here on top of these patties. Because our other patties are going to kind of overlap them, so I like to make sure the bottom ones, you know, get a little love and tender care there first. Okay, and then we're just going to add in our other patties just to get them nestled in there. Okay, and they're already done, so I want to turn this down because I don't want them to cook. I just want them to soak into this cream of chicken, which is my way of cheating for gravy. Get all the goodness out. Okay, and you just move them around. There we go. Now it's starting to calm down. Just want to keep turning them over, getting them nice and coated. And then while it's kind of on a low simmer, we're just going to let them simmer down on a low simmer, so it can get all this gravy goodness. That's all we're going to do. Just let them simmer down. Okay. And then we're going to move over here to we're going to get ready to do our sides. So the choice that I chose for my sides, we are going to do chopped turnip greens, frozen, and home style butter mashed potatoes. If you can read, you can cook these things. That's just how easy it is. We're just going to follow the instructions. At least for the mashed potatoes anyway. But for the turnip greens, we're going to go ahead and just get them inside the pan. Okay. And it's always good to have some chicken broth on hand, so I'm going to just shake that up. So instead of water, we're going to add some chicken broth. And remember, I do not cook by measurements, by eyeballing. So can you come over? See where the liquid is? See how we can start to see it at the bottom? That should be good because they're frozen, so remember they're going to cook down and they're going to be producing a liquid as well. So we don't want to put too much chicken broth, but just enough. And because chicken broth is already salty on its own, it's not going to take much salt to season. Literally, not much at all. And then we just take a little bit of vegetable oil. Okay. We're going to put a top on that and we're going to let that roll. That's all that needs to do. We're going to go ahead and let that roll. Okay. Then for my instant potatoes, it calls for 2 cups of water. Just going to get in there our 2 cups of water. I'm going to go ahead and get my water going here. Okay. And then we are going to add just a little bit of butter. Told y'all I love to cook with butter. And let's get our packet in there. Now some people like to wait till the water boils. That's fine, whatever your preference is. But here, not me. We're going to go ahead and put this in. Okay. And let's mix it around. Now what I like to do as it's going to begin to cook down, I like to keep an eye on it. Because if it gets too clumpy, instead of adding more water, I'm just going to add milk until it gets to the smooth consistency that I want. Where I don't have any lumps. I don't want to have any lumps. And then we're going to come back over here and check. This is our goodness. See, it's starting to look like gravy, guys. And boy, oh boy, if you guys could sample this right here, it's going to be so good. And the extra gravy juice, we're just going to use it and put it over the mashed potatoes. Okay, easy. That's simple. Alright, and that's pretty much it. So as I stated, we're going to continue to let that soak up the goodness. We're going to continue to let our greens cook down, our turnips boil down, and then we'll keep an eye on our mashed potatoes. And I'll just add, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to add milk to make sure that I get all the lumps and bumps out, and that's it. So just stay tuned. We'll be back with the finished plated result, and I'm gonna see if I can gather me some judges today. So we'll be right back. All right, y'all, there's that plated goodness right there. Chicken patties, gravy, mashed potatoes, and our greens. All right, so here's my judges. Let me know what y'all think.
Okay. Just let chicken carry on.
You laughing, Zacchaeus?
Yeah, because I didn't go on it last time.
Give it a thumbs up. Two thumbs up from Siskel and Ebert. If you like it, subscribe. You'll love this food. Chicken patties, greens, everything is wonderful. See you next time.